Hello everybody, here's another video from Naldo, and I'm making this video as a tribute to the great Danish Grandmaster Bent Larsen, who yesterday on 9/11/2010 passed away. Who was Bent Larsen, will some of you ask yourself. He was a Danish Grandmaster, the best Danish player ever, and the best Scandinavian player until Carlsen became very famous, and he was one of the best players in the 60s and 70s. And there's one opening named after him, and that's the 1b3 move opening called the Nimzo-Larsen attack. And I'm now going to analyze a game he played with white against Jonathan Penrose. And he opened with b3, and Penrose answered c5 and bishop b2, which is the normal continuation after b3, of course. And then knight c6 and c4, and we see an unorthodox opening system by white, and that was one of the things Larsen played a lot. Moves like b3 and f4, which were somewhat offbeat, they weren't played a lot, but he tried it just because it are unexpected opening moves, and there isn't a lot of knowledge about these moves. And he exchanged here in the center. Now I played rook c1, getting on this nice file of the bishop e6. It's all just developing moves until now. Now can't say very much about those moves, just healthy moves. Now we play d4. Now we got a terrace defense, and well, the idea is now to try to exchange this c and d pawn with white, so that black has an isolated queen's pawn, then to play against this weak isolated queen's pawn on d5. And black's idea then is to push that pawn and try to exchange it, because an isolated pawn most of the time is weak. So one of the ideas is to exchange it. Another idea is to use it as an outpost, like here on e4 or c4. Not now, of course, because here's b3, but that are ideas of the isolated pawn, to try to get some outpost here. And normally if there comes an outpost, the field in front of the pawn, the d4 square, becomes a strong square to blockade the isolated pawn, normally with knight, and then put some pressure by putting some pieces on that file of that isolated pawn, or like here a bishop on attacking the pawn, and then try to put a lot of pressure on that pawn, and then at the right moment getting that knight away and win that pawn. Now rook c8, trying to get on that open file. White castled. Now rook e8, getting on that e file. Now white exchange, and knight a4, making some room, some space for this rook on c1, attacking this bishop, and the idea of course is to get on this c5 square when the bishop moves away, which happens. Now this is a strong knight here, and now black played knight e7. Of course he could have exchanged by taking with his bishop on c5, but then he would give away the bishop pair, and at the moment this white bishop doesn't stand very strong, so then it's a good idea to keep that other bishop on the board. After knight e7, white took. Notice that knight takes b7 doesn't work, because after queen b6, white can try e4, going for the fork, then the double attack here, but then after d takes e, and knight takes d, queen to take, and then there's this rook sacrifice here, and then bishop e4, but then still black is standing better. So knight takes on b7 doesn't work, then knight takes c7, now queen takes, and now queen d2, making some space for this rook on f1 to come to d1 and put pressure on that isolated pawn. Now queen d8 and rook d1, and bishop f6. So this now is a very strong bishop here, and now there's a tension, maybe d4 may be played at some point. Now e3 and queen e7, and maybe making room for these rooks to come to the d file. And now h3 and h6, and then bishop takes, queen takes, exchanging, and rook c3. Now white is going to try to get some play here in the c file, bishop f5 and rook c1. Now rook d8. Now here the strong field, as I said, in front of the pawn, knight e4, and black exchange again, and now there are two isolated pawns. Now it's more difficult to attack one another because there isn't an open file in front of one of the isolated pawns. Now after rook e7, Larsen played g4, attacking the bishop just to go away. Now f4, gaining space on the king side. f6, try to get this pawn on the black color so that his bishop has more space to move than the opposite bishop, which is white squared, can't attack the pawns. Then king f2, trying to get king involved, then bishop f7 and bishop f3, and king f8. Also, black also tries to get his king involved, and then a4, gaining space on the queen side, and rook e8, doubling rooks, and a5, and then rook d7, and b4. Now the rooks are doubled on the d file, bishop e2, bishop d8 is played, bishop d3. Now this bishop is standing quite nice here in the center, having a lot of scope. Oh, sorry. Along a few files, diagonals. And now rook e7 is played, and rook c8, getting on the same file as the same rank as the king. Rook takes, and rook takes. Now the bishop is pinned. King f7, and now b5, b6. A takes. Rook b8, attacking the pawn. Rook e6, defending the pawn. Maybe better was just to drop this pawn, try to do something active, like rook a7 getting on the file, or rook c7 getting on the open file. So now rook e6, this is a blunder. But now white has the brilliant bishop g6, which Bent Larsen played. Fritz gives it a double exclamation mark. And of course, the king can't take because of f5, double attack. So now king goes to f8, getting in this pin again. So this bishop can't be taken by this bishop, and this rook is tied up to the defense of this bishop. Just h4, and rook e7. Can't do anything active elsewhere. Just rook e6, and just playing on a few moves. And now after g5, Jonathan Penrose resigned. Bent Larsen just has a superior position. Black can't do anything. His rook can't go away from this e-file. If he tries, then just his bishop falls. His king can't go away, then the bishop falls as well. And white just can do anything he wants with his bishop, with his pawns and his king, just eating all the pawns that are on the king's side. So black resigned, and it's quite a lost position. Fritz gives this plus 6.84, so that's quite winning. It's almost 7 pawns up, so quite a lost position. It's a pity that Bent Larsen passed away. I hope he rests in peace. This was a tribute to him. Thank you for watching. Any comments or questions on YouTube?